Friends, hello everyone, my name is Zhenya Panashok and I've gone a bit crazy, hopped on a plane and set off in search of a new, completely uninhabited island where I want to challenge myself again in survival conditions. But this time, I want to stay living on this island until my channel reaches 1 million subscribers, and thanks to your likes under the videos, you choose an additional mission for me. For example, under the first episode, you reached 15,000 likes. This means I have to catch a shark. Woohoo! Under the second episode, you reached 18,000 likes. And that means I had to catch a barracuda, and I succeeded with that mission. And under the third episode, you reached 20,000 likes. This means today I'll have to catch something using traps from AliExpress. In general, friends, the more likes under this video, the more challenging and interesting the additional mission will be. And today is the 4th day on the uninhabited island. Here's the trap. I like it more. Look, you open it, and that's it. The whole system. And the simpler the system, the more reliable, in my opinion. Plus, here's a net made of such strong thread. There's nothing to break here, and it's well made. I like it. I'll set this one in the coral reef and see what happens underwater, because I'll leave the camera too, so you can watch. Folded and done. Compact, convenient, simple, fast, and reliable. When I flew to Shark Island for the second time, a shark chewed through my second trap. Just destroyed it, but one remained intact. I'll use the leftovers of the caught barracuda as bait. I put on fins, a mask, and a snorkel and went underwater. I need to find a good spot where I can set the trap. The water was so clear that I felt like I was in a huge aquarium. I chose a good spot near a beautiful coral reef. There should be fish or crabs here, and maybe I'll get lucky and lobsters will climb into the trap. Let's see what I managed to catch. The depth was shallow, but during the tide the water level rises by 2 meters, and that'll be enough. That's it, the trap is set, and in an hour or two I'll dive and check. Look at these tracks. Tap, 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 tap. And to intersect. These are monitor lizards or iguanas or small caimans. But I don't want to waste time, so I took a crossbow in my hands and went on to hunt for prey. Meanwhile, the bait inside my trap attracted the attention of coral inhabitants. And suddenly, in the distance on the horizon to the left, I saw the silhouette of a huge fish. But the scent of the bait inside the trap didn't interest it. And a little later, a big grouper swam over the trap. The big fish appeared on the horizon again. And this time, it swam closer to the trap. But still, it didn't swim inside. And meanwhile, I continued hunting with the crossbow. Despite having some grilled barracuda left, I wanted to catch something extra for the evening, so that there would be enough food and I wouldn't have to use the strategic reserve. During underwater hunting, I raised my head up and saw that the sky was covered with rain clouds. And that means it will rain again tonight. It's the rainy season in the tropics, so it's not surprising. Here's a good school of fish. I aimed and took a shot. But somehow, miraculously, I missed the fish. Moving on. After underwater hunting, I decided to take a walk around the island and check out interesting fishing spots. Wow! Whoa. This is something. From this height, the whole island will be visible. How beautiful and high it is here. So here, look, there's a good slope down this ridge. And there, at the corner, you come out and cast with a spinning rod. And somewhere around there, the depth starts at the drop-off. But that place is probably closer to the depth. In general, we'll check both these corners with the spinning rod. Look, here's another rock, and it has very beautiful crystals on it. Oh, what's this? In my opinion, this mineral looks very similar to yellow-white cubic calcite. But if you know for sure what it is, please write to me in the comments under the video. After I started making fire, using a primitive method, using different stones, minerals, I began to examine their texture and become more interested. Reading about their origin and other nuances. In general, it's interesting, very interesting, and I got excited. And now I look at stones differently. So for me, it's not just some random pebble, right? It's a mineral, and they're all beautiful in their own way. And there are different rare ones. In general, it's actually an interesting hobby and passion. So now I approach it differently and pay more attention to what's under my feet. Especially on such uninhabited islands where I've never been, to find such minerals. Wow, it's very beautiful, it's interesting, it's a memory. Wow, it's so interesting here, it's so interesting here. Even such treasures are lying under my feet. Cool, there are also lots of broken minerals here. Transparent, different, beautiful, look, similar to what I found, only it's solid. Solid all the way through, no little crystals inside. I don't know if you can see it or not. I hope the camera focused. And here's a completely transparent one, similar to chalcedony. But I don't think it's chalcedony, although I'll take a piece of steel and try to strike it, see if it sparks or not. Very interesting. Come on, let's try it. I took an iron plate and these different minerals that I just found on the way. Look, I don't know if the camera is focusing or not. I hope it is. I'll try this one first. You just need to strike it like a match against a matchbox. Wow. Friends, can you see it or not? Wow, listen. It's crumbling from it like, I don't know, like silicon from a lighter. Wow, really? Very much so. Wow. It even makes a sound in the air like a sparkler. So friends, such a little thing turned out to be very useful. With its help, I'll be able to make fire. Wow, cool, cool, I'm happy. Oh, here's a really thin one. Look at this. I'm shocked, friends. None of my minerals gave such strong sparks. Despite my small strategic supply of food and water, my main task is to survive on this island by using natural resources to the maximum. So I use any little opportunity to replenish my freshwater supply. And this rain right here is just that opportunity. Done. A couple more of these bottles and it'll be enough. On Shark Island, when I was there the second time, that's when 1.5 liter bottle filled up in about 35 minutes. The rain didn't stop, and the sun was slowly setting. I decided not to miss the chance, took my fishing rod and headed to the fishing spot, hoping to accomplish an additional mission, namely, to try to catch a shark. So, I'm not far away now. Rocky surface. I didn't even wear anything on top. The mosquitoes will eat me alive along with those sand flies. But I want to save my sweater so it stays somewhat dry, because I'm tired of walking around wet. Let the mosquitoes bite, because the rain is drizzling and I don't want to wet my things. So I'm almost going to the fishing spot, almost naked. Almost there now. Dangerous. The baits were flying into the water and the sky was getting more and more covered with rain clouds. I didn't lose hope and kept fishing. I know there are sharks here. The main thing is to send the bait to the right place at the right moment, and I'll definitely succeed. So this bait is significantly slower sinking for this kind of place. The waves are big here. You need to cut through both the wave and the current. So I'll use a heavier bait. This bait might not be heavier by weight, but in terms of body to weight ratio, it sinks faster underwater. It wobbles stronger and copes with strong currents. This one is more leisurely, but I love it. But now is the time for this model, which was given to me by Australian blogger Kevy. But that's another story. The lure doesn't pop out of the water. Plays very well underwater, resists against strong currents. I don't know if you've seen it or not. A small one, that same barracuda jumped right out behind my lure. It pursued and then leaped like this. In general, the lure is great. This lure is better suited for this spot. When the sun went down, I returned to camp, took the spear in my hands, and went crab hunting. Oh, friends, I think I'll have to take equipment for underwater hunting and dive underwater. After that, I decided to engage in night underwater hunting. Perhaps luck will be on my side tonight. And I'll manage to catch another big barracuda. And suddenly, on the horizon, I saw something shiny. A fairly large fish was reflecting the light from my flashlight. It was very close to the coral reef. And in such conditions, it's better to hunt with a spear, because if I shoot with a crossbow, I might break or damage my harpoon. Or it might get stuck in the coral reef so deeply that I won't be able to retrieve it. So I just tried to spear the fish as if with a spear. And I didn't do it well. The fish started to disappear into the darkness. I know that a wounded fish won't swim far. The main thing is not to lose sight of it. And on the next attempt, I finally managed to catch it. There's the catch. I immediately hooked the caught fish onto a rescue buoy, just in case my catch attracts sharks. As I suddenly saw under a big rock eyes shining, I dove underwater and swam closer, and saw that it was a blue-spotted stingray. I swam around to the other side and saw its eyes. I had a choice before me, to shoot and take this catch, or give it a chance. Because just now, I already caught myself dinner. Friends, what would you do in my place? If you want me to catch the stingray and cook it on the fire, then let's try to get the necessary number of likes for this additional mission. I'm sure it's very easy for you. The more likes, the more challenging and interesting the additional mission. The caught fish needs to be cleaned thoroughly. And now, to cook my catch, I need to make a fire. Gather some dry twigs. And to make fire, I used a steel plate and a newfound mineral. It gives a very strong spark. Then with a knife, I sharpened a stick on which I'll cook the fish. I sat by the fire, roasted the fish, and thought about my trap. I was very curious if I would catch anything. I couldn't wait for tomorrow morning to check together with you. Friends, I wanted to share my emotions with you before I forget. Protective gear, a suit, is very important during hunting, especially somewhere far away, especially if you're diving alone. Diving alone is not allowed. It's not necessary, it's very bad. It's wrong. It's wrong. I think you noticed during the daytime video, my right shoulder, it's covered in pimples. Because I went diving without a suit and got lobsters. When I saw them, I didn't think about anything because they're rarely found underwater. I lifted this rock with both hands, like this. I got the lobster out and didn't think that I scratched my shoulder against the coral reef. And now everything here is burning, covered in pimples. They hurt and itch, and it's already the 5th day. And it doesn't go away. And you, as usual, write your predictions in the comments under the video. Will I catch anything with the trap or not? The fish was very hot, so it was very difficult to hold it in my hands. Nearby I found a piece of coral, cleaned it from sand, and put the fish on top. It will be like a makeshift plate. Delicious fish, lean, not fatty, but very tasty. Friends, all together, enjoy your meal. And I eagerly and appetizingly picked it apart to the smallest bone. Ate all the meat and even picked apart the head. The last juicy piece. Thanks, nature, no food left behind. Now I can go to sleep. Friends, only if you like my videos, be sure to give a thumbs up. It's only 2 seconds for you, but it's a big help for me. And I see your feedback. I understand that you like videos about survival on inhabited islands. Thank you all and good night. Bye. Already dawn. The sun is slowly rising.